So, if you've spent the last year watching the Paris Olympics, you might be familiar with the name Raygun, also known as Rachel Gunn, who was an Australian breakdancer who went viral for her, well, interesting moves, which at first turned into a funny meme, but now has turned into a villain after taking legal action against those who made fun of her. But how did all this happen? Let's get into it. The Paris Olympics of 2024 was the first time in the history of the Olympics that we were going to see breakdancing added to the competition. This isn't the first time we've seen weird sports added to the Olympics. In the past, we've seen sports like tug of war, rope climbing, and even live pigeon shooting added to the Olympics, all of which have now been discontinued. Breakdancing, despite appearing in the 2024 Olympics, is not scheduled to be in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Whether that has anything to do with the controversy surrounding Raygun and the other breakdancers, I don't know, but it certainly wasn't the best advert for the Olympics. But it certainly was great for the numbers. Australian breakdancer Raygun broke the internet with her dance routine. Her dance routine featured taming the cobra, helicopter arms, the kangaroo, and whatever the hell this is, the sweep. She even yawned at her opponent during her term, and the internet was quick to criticize her performance. The audacity to yawn at your opponent and then perform those drunk auntie at a wedding moves is insane. The confidence to do that in front of the world is unimaginable. Raygun in total performed 3 times in the group stage and was knocked out of the competition after failing to secure any points. Not only were people unhappy with her dance skills, but also with the Olympics. People were astounded that she was even allowed to perform and questioned the standards of Olympic breakdancing and whether Raygun was even qualified to perform. Despite belief that she wasn't qualified, she reportedly has a PhD in breakdancing and dance culture. Others still believed there was something strange going on, with some believing that her coach and trainer was also her partner. There was even a Change.org form insisting that she should be fully investigated, as no one believed she was the best breakdancer Australia had. In fact, one of the judges who had judged her during the qualifying said this about her: "All us judges talked about how she was going to get smashed, absolutely smashed. She knew it was going to be rough, so it's actually courageous of her." Statements like this just infuriated fans of breakdancing even more, as they had no idea why she had been chosen to represent Australia. But while others were angry, others saw the funny side of it all and thought her whole routine was hilarious and made her routine loved by millions across the world. Even other Olympians loved her performance so much they asked her to perform in the Olympic Village too. She was even talked about on The Tonight Show by Jimmy Fallon and singer Adele, saying she was the best thing that's ever happened to the Olympics. She wasn't the only breakdancer to go viral. Performers like B-Boy Victor and B-Girl Amy went viral for their dance routines, as people thought they were impressive. But Raygun's performance did not go viral for that reason. Nobody actually thought she was a good breakdancer. They just found her dancing incredibly entertaining. And you can't exactly lie and say doing this in the Olympics isn't peak entertainment. Her routine garnered hundreds of millions of views across the internet. But just like every joke, sometimes it goes on for too long. And in Raygun's situation, she said she was struggling to deal with the hate. She said, "I really appreciate the positivity, and I'm glad I was able to bring some joy into your lives. That's what I hoped. I didn't realize that would also open the door for so much hate, which has, frankly, been devastating." But instead of embracing the funny memes about her, she went on the back foot and took it to Instagram to stand up to the hate.
Well, I went out there and I had fun. I did take it very seriously. I worked my butt off.
And this didn't exactly go down well with the internet. The least athletic person to ever enter the Olympic Games. You have no fans. I bet her closest friends even think she sucked. It seemed even the people who did love her routine were starting to turn on her, because instead of embracing how bad her routine was, she doubled down on it. But despite this, the hate was still getting to her too much, to the point where she reportedly has now quit competitive breakdancing over the backlash. It's got to suck being made fun of in an international scale, but damn, she looked an amateur compared to others. But this has somewhat still made her a national meme in Australia. Even recently, people were putting her on top of their Christmas tree. Since her response video about her performance at the Olympics, she's been really quiet, and there hasn't been much talk about her. But that would all change when she took legal action against someone making fun of her. Raygun became the center of a parody musical titled Raygun the Musical, created by comedian Stephanie Broadbridge. The show aimed to humorously depict her distinctive dance moves. The show was scheduled to debut in Sydney in December 2024. However, it was cancelled shortly before its premiere due to legal action from Raygun's representatives. They issued a cease and desist letter to the ID Comedy Club in Sydney, where the musical was scheduled to perform at. The letter demanded the show's cancellation, removal of all material referencing Gunn, and reimbursement of estimated legal costs amounting to $10,000 Australian dollars. Club owner Anthony Skinner had offered $500 Australian dollars from ticket sales as compensation. He was surprised at their demand. He said, "When they sent that $10,000 letter, I was like, you're joking." The legal action sparked significant public backlash, with critics accusing Raygun of lacking a sense of humor. Social media users and public figures criticized her for not embracing the parody. Comedian Stephanie Broadbridge responded with humor, posting a video in which she quipped that they were worried that I was damaging her brand, which I would never do. She doesn't need me to do that. Fans and Australians certainly weren't happy when they heard the news. Wow, it was a small venue charging $10 per ticket as a charity event. The whole thing was a non-event that would have gone under the radar. Now she wants to bankrupt them because they likely can't afford to fight the bogus trademark claim. Raygun defended her actions, stating that her intent was to protect her trademark name and not for financial gain. She clarified this was to prevent others from exploiting her image without consent.
Hi everyone, Raygun here. I just wanted to say a few words about this Raygun the musical. So the first we heard of it was last Friday, when it was a story in the Sydney Morning Herald and on Channel 7 News. We were totally blindsided by this, and unfortunately the blowback was quick. People assumed that we had developed it, that we had approved it, and it damaged many relationships, both personal and professional.
Raygun explained, "I've trademarked my name and my now famous kangaroo silhouette pose, but viewers struggled to believe that. After doing some digging, some viewers noticed something strange. The silhouette is showing as accepted, awaiting publication on the IP Australia website. It isn't registered until the prescribed time has passed for international trademark holders to object." Others stated that the submission to trademark her dance pose was registered on the same day as the poster for the show, which means this is a pure coincidence, or that Raygun is lying. Raygun went to Instagram to post 2 videos explaining the situation, saying a lot of backlash was based on misinformation and that her lawyers had acted on her behalf, and how this isn't about the money.
This has also never been about the money. I have been contacted to go on just about every reality TV show out there, and I've declined big money because I'm not about that.
But fans weren't buying it and caused her even more backlash. Immediately comes across as smug rather than humbly apologetic. As of now, Raygun and Stephanie Broadbridge have come to an agreement where she can go ahead with the show, with a new name, Breaking the Musical, and the removal of Raygun's face from the poster. But I think it's fair to say the damage has already been done. Raygun went from someone already disliked to now being hated, which led one viewer to ask this question on Reddit. Is Raygun as ridiculed and disliked in Australia as she seems to be in the rest of the world? To which someone worded perfectly, "She's like Foster's, technically Australian, but none of us want to be at a party with her."